ね、山中さん、そしてローレンス綾子さん、2人でもって今リアルアメリカボイスね、前で、スティーブ・バノンがねこれからやるので、スティーブ・バノンのショーの中継というか、中継でもないんだけど、解説しながらね、日本語でね彼がどんなことを言ってるかというのを、2人で話をしながら、これ皆さんちょっとすごい人なんだよね、これ見たら分かりの通りね、もうすごい、人がですね、もう実はもうこうやって取り囲んでいるんです。もうこれ50人じゃ聞かないね、50人じゃ聞かないね、それぐらいの人たちが、なんたってやっぱりスティーブ・バノン、議会侮辱罪でね、1.6 茶番委員会、あれによって議会に出なかったんね、いうことで刑務所に入れられたんですよ、連邦刑務所へ。4ヶ月ね、出てきたのが10月かな、ちょっと選挙の前、もう彼はね英雄ですよ、今志曲げなかったね。僕はずっとスティーブ・バノンもこの4年5年はほぼ毎日っていうぐらい聞いてきたんだけど、それぐらいね、で今日はローレンさんも一緒に、ローレンさんのねカメラでは、スティーブ・バノンのこの撮ってる、そうだよね、だから一度これを撮りながら、我々はこの彼がどんなことを言うのか、これね、今日は初日なんですね、木曜日、ターニングポイント USA アムフェストのこのフェニックスコンベンションセンターで初日のまだメインが4時から始まるその前なんですね。前ですから、その前に、スティーブ・バノンはね今日のメインのスピーカーの一人ですね、メインのスピーカーの一人でもあるんだけれども、この今リアルアメリカズボイスは私実はね2年前に出演したことあるんですよ。そうなんですね。いわゆるこのウォールームというね番組の、プラットフォームがリアルアメリカズボイスで、いいんですね。これ今ね CNN の映してますね。今ねアメリカで一番話題になってるのはあれなのね、年末12月の末までに例の予算上限法が通らなければ、毎年の同じことなんだけど、それをもし上限をね拡大しなければね、要は全ての軍人から公務員の給料が止まるっていうね、これを脅しかけて民主党は政権はね、巨大な巨額の予算をゴミ箱にむちゃくちゃにね詰め込むんだよね、パッケージにね。そういうことをずっと繰り返してきた。トランプに今回これは絶対反対だと、トランプと強硬派のね共和党の人たちがねこれに絶対反対しますよね。ちょっとこれ、いつぐらいからこれやるかちょっとあれなんだけど、これをね、何本か分けてね、やりたいと思いますね。ちょっとこれはね、
And once Musk came out swinging and whipping people into a frenzy, I just think it was really, really going to be difficult for Johnson to get everyone back into a calm place and to be able to pass that. That being
これで聞こえ具合はよろしいでしょうか。この方が音どうかなと思ってるのね。音はね絶対この方がいいと思うので、皆さんもしコメント書ける方いたらねコメント出してください。これでもって我々プレスパスをねもらってるんで、これみんなプレスのねプレスパスなんですけど、ローレンスさんもねプレスパスねこうねあってこれ聞こえ方おはようございます。音声 OK です。はい、いいですね。
はい、私ちょっと一足先に入ってですね、ここのメディアの場所と、それからエクゼビションホールっていうのがあるんですけれども、そちらの方を回らせていただきました。そしたらかなり有名な、皆さんもよくご存知かもしれないデイリーワイヤーとかいろんなニュース番組の方が来てまして、別のブースではジャック・ホソベックという人がインタビューを受けてました。だから結構この辺を歩いてるとですね、有名なスピーカーの方々にも会えますね。はい、そろそろ始まりそうなので行ってみましょう。
basically shot all these rebels lying about the people. The people's had a belly full of them. I know you don't like hearing that. I know you tried to do
とんでもない人ですよ。
It's not going to stop it. It's
もう
going
100
to
人あっという間に超えちゃった
And
ね。
where people like that go to share the big lie, MAGA
100人あっという間に超えた。
in my
も
soul, I
う、もう何百人になっちゃうかもわかんないね、これね。
conscience.
もうヒーローですよ、スティーブ・バノンヒーロー。1ヶ月前に出所してきたばかり、連邦刑務所へね、連邦刑務所から出たばかり、彼はヒーロー、ヒーローだよね、すごいね、すごい、スティーブ・バノン、イエイ、すごいな。
Thursday, 19 December, year of our Lord 2024. We are live here at AmFest at the Phoenix Convention Center, downtown Phoenix. How y'all doing? Man, happy hour hadn't even started. They're rowdy. Hold it. I got the watchword for today. Shut it down. 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 So hold it. This is where Johnson's got us now. He's got us in the corner. They have to suspend the rules tonight. They have to do it on the suspension of the rules. I think you need 2/3 of Congress to vote this through. So think about it for a second. This guy, with President Trump on a complete and total roll, right? Total momentum. You know, President Trump, after the huge victory, by the way, the victory that you guys from day one, right? Day one. No. Remember, y'all that watched the show back then when he was on the, after we fought so hard after November 3rd of 2020, the election he won with 74 million legitimate votes, right? When he left the tarmac, remember Andrews Air Force Base and they were playing the Frank Sinatra song, right, My Way, and Boris is out there, and you had, you know, there's one or two other officials, but it's basically Boris seeing President Trump off and reporting for War Room. And think of those months back in, remember Mar-a-Lago in January, in February, in March, and April of 2021? They were pretty grim, except, and outside the War Room, there was 100 National Guard troops up armored. Nancy Pelosi had all at Capitol Hill. She had no troops there on January 6th. But afterwards, for 100 days, just to rub our nose in it, that we were insurrectionists. She had all the National Guard there. President Trump had very few people that had his back, except for y'all, right? So because you guys understand the logic of American history. You understand that to complete this story, Donald Trump was going to come back, he was going to win the primary, then he was going to take on Biden and win in a landslide, hold the House, take the Senate, win the presidency, right? How many, think about it for a second. How many pundits came on Fox and CNN and all the haters over those 4 years? Trump can't do it. Remember that? Trump can't do it. Trump, all of it. Day in and day out. Did you guys believe any of that? This is what populism is. Populism is the sovereign will of the people. You guys have more, listen, it's the same from the revolution all the way through the age of Jackson, all the way through the Civil War, to the end of the 19th century, World War II, the Great Depression, all the way to today. The story of America has always been its people, and although we go through some course changes, always coming to the conclusion, having common sense and doing the right thing. That's what populism is, and that's why you have leaders like Ronald Reagan, right, and President Trump, that kind of come forward and step forward and lead. You guys knew from the beginning Trump was going to win, right? When the whole world told you no. What lesson did that teach us? Never to compromise, right? To hell with them, screw them. They all think they're smarter, they all think they're better, they all think they know everything, right? Do they know it? Is Donald Trump the President of the United States when they mocked and ridiculed him back in January and February and March of 2021, you were right and they were wrong. That's a lesson. Why are we here tonight? Why is Congress tonight going to crawl up there and vote on some suspension? You need a bunch of Democrat votes And why are we up there like supplicants? Why are we up there instead of the winners that we won on November 5th? Because Mike Johnson and the traditional Republicans do not believe what we stand for. Johnson went up there, he went to Hakeem Jeffries and negotiated, or had Hakeem Jeffries just tell him, a 1,500-page bill that had nothing but stuff that Democrats want in there. Number one, we hate CRs, do we not? We hate, and I want to thank, you know, James Zirkle and Mo and Grace Chung and Natalie Winters. You know, think of these young women, right? They are fire breathers, and because of Liz Cheney and Nancy Pelosi, I was in a federal prison. I couldn't be here, but it was the same war room. It's next man up. You guys carried it with these young women, right? And you know, Chip Roy and the guys, they got to me in prison through different people and said, man, oh man, these women are vicious, right? I go, hey, if you want to CR, man, you're going to have to fight it. So we hate CRs. Now, the only reason we even agreed to this at all, to think about it, and we wanted a two-liner, was because President Trump takes over in January. We want Russ Vought and Scott Besson and Peter Navarro and Hassett and all of his economic team, and President Trump, to have them do, and then he brings in Vivek and he brings in, you know, Elon and the team of the Doge guys. He brings those guys in, and we start doing, you know, deconstruct the administrative state, start to take this thing apart brick by brick. And so that's why we do it. Now, that alone, and we don't love that because remember, that the spending stays the same and we want to cut spending. So that alone is about $500 billion. Okay, $500 billion. Johnson did a deal that added $300 billion on top of that, right? Almost all Democrat programs, besides a little bit for the farmers and some money for FEMA. And I'm not so sure the FEMA money, you know, it's $100 billion. I'm not so sure FEMA doesn't have money right now. I have no idea what's going on over there because you can't trust anything Biden's doing, right? You've seen everything that's come out about Biden in the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. You know, it's amazing about the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. We come out with something like on the pandemic and they say, oh, we're conspiracy theory guys and everything, Wuhan lab, right, a bioweapon, everything. We nailed the pandemic from the very beginning. And of course, 2 or 3 years later, they'll come out with it, right? So what did we say? We called when Biden came in office, we would never call him president. It was always the illegitimate Biden regime, right? Remember? Right? Now, part of that is psychological warfare because we had to break through the white noise and make sure people that are low information voters or even Democrats or independents and maybe people against us, a lot of the rhinos, would eventually start thinking about it and we'll hang on. Maybe, let me look at the math here. Maybe Trump actually did win this, right? So maybe this is not legitimate. The New York Times and the Wall Street Journal are reporting and the Daily Mail's got the lead story. From day one in his regime, they knew he was mentally impaired, right? They knew he was mentally impaired. Joe Biden knew it. The cabinet knew it. Guys making decisions. He was falling asleep. Wasn't even there for half the national security meetings. Now go back in time. Think about it. The laptop from hell was given to Barr and to Chris Wray in November of 2019. Okay? And I got called up by Rudy to look at it in July of 2020. When it come to Rudy through the guy running the computer store. And it took me about 15 minutes because in one area I'm an expert about the Chinese Communist Party and their state-owned industries. And you could see that the Bidens had taken an awful lot of money and had set themselves up to take more money. It was pretty straightforward. And then you had the parts about Hunter, the videos and the photos. You know, young Jane Zirkle, Calamity Jane. That's where I met Calamity Jane. She worked for Rudy as an intern, and I got up there when I saw the laptop from hell. I said, "Young lady, get over here. You're going to the war room. You're getting away from this. No more laptop from hell." No, but the laptop was very clear that they had taken money. Ray and the deep state, the administrative state, and Barr, these people knew it in 19 when Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, the whole deal from the beginning was to get Joe Biden to be the front guy. And it's evident now in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, they knew at the time he was impaired. They knew he was going to be a puppet, but they knew he was the prop they could put in front for the phony mail-in ballots, right, to steal it from President Trump. Now, it's providential, though, that it was stolen, because all of America got to have their nose rubbed in how radical these people are, right? What they intend to do to the country. And think about it, we got 4 more years of President Trump, otherwise it'd been the finish of his term right now. Let me do some weapons grade trolling of the liberals right now. At least 4 years of President Trump. Are you all down for Trump 2028? MSNBC, suck on that, okay? Okay, we're going to take a short commercial break. Really appreciate you all being here. We're having a good time. And the drinking lamp is not even lit yet. Really appreciate y'all coming out. We're going to have 3 or 4 days. President Trump's not here till Sunday. Hell, we've extended this thing today. We're going to have 4 days of good times here, some celebration. We're going to get some work done. Short commercial break. We're going to return in the war room. Just a moment.
Yeah. すごかったですね。すごい、やっぱりすごいね。ちょっとご感想などどうぞ。
やっぱり周りの人たちが、ね、この4年間、8年間ですよね。8年間戦って、やっと今トランプがもう一度当選して、ここに来ると、ここに来る。それを特別な時にあれで、それはもう涙がしみます。戦い出すこと戦ってあげてるので、だからその何でしょう、熱い気持ちもあります。やっぱりそれに対して絶対対応しない、マスクするということを言い続けるというメリットをしてもらったんですよね。で、その彼らがもうある意味バックボーンっていうか軸になって、この病気を支えてくれたと思うんですよ。だから本当そういう意味でこの人のすごいことだと思います。
あやこさんの声聞こえませんでしたね。なんでだろう。もう一回もうちょっと近づけて言って。
聞こえます？聞
こえますか？あ、抜けちゃう。ちょっと。大丈夫。スピーカー
の近くだからね。スピーカーの近くだから確かに聞きにくいですね。
大丈夫か。
はい。大丈夫ですか？あ、そうですか。大丈夫ですか？じゃあちょっと繰り返します。はい。繰り返しますけれども、すいません、ここスピーカーの隣だからちょっとうるさいですよね。このスティーブ・バノンって人がウォールームっていう番組をずっとやっていて、そして彼が本当に絶対妥協しなかったんです。まっすぐに同じことを言い続けて、絶対屈しないって言い続けてた人なんですね。だから彼が8年間言い続けたことによって、今本当にトランプが当選してここにいるということ、分かった、それは本当に彼の功績は大きいと思いますね。だから今日こんな近くで見れてとても嬉しいです。
そうね。5メートル以内の距離だね。3メートルぐらいだね。
めっちゃ近いですね。
めっちゃ近いね。今コマーシャルブレイクをねしてるからね。ちょっと一回切りましょうかね。はい、じゃあちょっと。